Hello friends, Ben Ochart here. Thank you for tuning in. Some of you have asked to see a full feeding of every fish here in the fish room. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and feed every fish here in my garage fish room and show you what I feed and how I feed them. And I'll give you the details as we go along. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The smaller fish, like the ones in this planted aquarium here, I crush up some of this extreme community crave, and then I'll also drop in some of these shrimp pellets for the catfish so that the cories get a shot, even though some of the lemon tetras and the Buenos Aires tetras will go ahead and grab those sometimes. So let's go ahead and drop some of this in. It's basically, I just crush it so that it's small enough for them to consume, and you'll see how voracious they are. But just a couple pinches usually is all I do. Just put it in there, and you'll see them attack it. Splashing water everywhere. They eat like little piranha. So let's go ahead and give them a little bit more, and I'll throw a couple of these aquarium pellets along the edges here so that the cats can get a little bit of a treat. You'll see that some of the other fish will try and pick them off on the way down, but they'll let go. They'll give up and let go, and then the cories will come and take it. Let's do some of the other small fish tanks. I'll take these with me. Go around the corner here. This is a quarantine tank where I'm going to be holding some guppies, and I've got some neons in here, and they're just being held in here until about March 15th. About 2 weeks from now, they're going to go ahead and get taken out of here and put into an aquarium. So again, a pinch of food crushed up, put into this little feeding hole here. See how much that is? And it's made small enough so they can all eat. And then here's my live bear tank, and as you can see, they've been really busy. You can see all the little fry in there. Those fry wouldn't have a chance with a hard pellet, but if I take this community crave and I crush it up and turn it practically into dust, they all get a shot. They all get a shot at it. And because there's a couple cories in here, I'll go ahead and drop a few shrimp pellets in there. You can see the fish will go after them, but ultimately the cories know it's their treat, and they'll come over and get them. It's a picus cory, really cute cory fish. There's also, I think, a green laser in there somewhere. There he is. All the fry. Yeah, they've been productive. It's all water sprite back there that I'm harvesting and moving into the other tanks as it shows roots. We've got a little breeding group in here. One male lyre-tail and 3 females. And again, I just crush up a little bit of the community crave. They love it. They all get fed twice a day. But the betta fish, which you see here, the betta only get fed once a day because they can get bloated out, and so I give them. I have different kinds of food I feed them. I have some betta bits from Northfin. I have a little bit of Sarah betta food, color food, and I even have some of these fluval bug bites. That's a special betta formula. I'll go ahead and give them let's do the bug bites. Let's do the bug bites this morning. So just drop a little bit in on each side. And that's it. That's all they get for the whole day. Otherwise, I've found that I've lost a few of them just from bloating, just from getting too fat from eating too much. So I'm real careful on how I feed them. So those are the smaller fish. Let's go do the big boys. I think you'll find that pretty interesting. So these fish are all happy. Let's go back around this way. I've got a bunch of stuff laying everywhere because I'm trying to do a review on this generator, and we're having a tornado warning today, so it's a perfect day to really get this thing going. It's charged up and ready. Let's close this down so nobody jumps. Now with the big boys, what I have in here, this is a jar of extreme cichlid peewee. But what you really have in here is a combination of foods. There's some Sarah green in here. There's definitely some different sizes of extreme. There's some Piscine energetics in here. There's a whole mix of foods because I want to give my fish variety. I don't think any one food has nailed the formula down totally. I think every food sort of has advantages, disadvantages. But I try to include some greens in their diet, and this one food is the food that all my cichlids get. Has good level of protein and some greens mixed into it. I also then follow it up with some of these very large Hikari cichlid gold. I'll be dumping in a little bit of that. I might buy some more of this. This is the medium size, and the big fish love it, so I'll dump some of that in there too. And I'm going to be adding some of this Denichi, is that pronounced Denichi? Denachi cichlid. Apparently a pretty high quality food. These are some foods that were sent to me by Lisa over at Super Cichlids in Delaware. Check them out. She sent me some samples, and it looks like it's pretty good quality. So I'll be mixing that into my cichlid mix and as we go along. So let's go ahead and start off with this tank here. This is the 90-gallon. And you can see it's a mix of pretty wide variety of fish, from green tears to severums to geos to some silver dollars, some AC Heckelei. And I've got a little hole here that I drilled, and I'll just drop it in the hole. They're all great eaters. The food tries to roll down the lid towards the back of the aquarium, but I'm able to scoop it, round it all up here, and get it into the hole. And I'll come back around and give them some of the bigger pellets in a second. Let's go do the large African cichlids. These guys have a tendency to splash everywhere. So let's see if I can feed them without getting the camera and everything else wet. We'll start here on this side. Two large helpings, and then I'll throw a little bit on this side just to make sure everybody gets a little bit of it. I spread the food around. You've got some that like to eat off the bottom. You've got other fish like to take it from the top. Once a week, these guys will get a treat like a frozen krill, something like that, or a Omega Cichlid Delight frozen cubes. They come in those little blister packs. You can see they're having a good old time. They're going to get some of those big pellets too. I'll come back around and give them some of the big pellets. All right, let's go over to the South American tank. Yeah, they know it's feeding time. The Oscars are the most aggressive eaters. They'll come up and attack the food. Whereas the firemouth, the Jack Dempsey back there, the Nicaragua, they kind of hang back. So you've got to really make sure, and the vieja, for the most part, stays kind of low. So you got to make sure that food gets to the bottom. So this is why I use sinking food. And this way everybody gets a shot at it. And again, big fish, you got to feed a lot of food. And that's one of the things that come along with having big fish. Let's get some of these big, you can see the size of these, good sized pellets. 4.8 to 5.3. That's a good size. That's a really good size pellet. So, but some of the fish, these fish do need a lot of food. So let's give them a little extra here. These are the floating pellets, so even the vieja will come up and get them. Let's throw some in the African cichlid tank. They know I'm back with their extra treat. About 2 or 3 large pinchfuls like this. I have a small holding tank over here. This has got little plecos that are always hiding. But if you drop in some of these Sarah, really any kind of food, but these are some catfish crisps. They're really high in greens. They're called catfish crisps, but they have a picture of a pleco in the front. So you drop those in there, and it turns into a feeding frenzy pretty quick. There's about 30 of them in there, including a couple of real big ones that are the mom and the dad. The big bushy, the long bristles, that's the male. And then you've got a big female there on the right. So those are the parents of all of these plecos. So you can see they know it's feeding time. Let's go back around here to the quarantine tank. And here I have some silver dollars that I'm quarantined for about a month. They're looking good. There's also some coolie loaches in the caves. And I'll throw some of those crisps that I just fed the plecos, I'll drop them inside the caves. I think I showed it on a video short that I did. But let's get that small food. This food here, flake food. Now let's put some of that in for the silver dollars. Now this is one thing I look for when I have fish in quarantine, is how well are they eating. See, they're attacking the food. They've got to have a lot of vigor. They got to look really good, and they've got to be eating really well before I move them to their permanent home. And these 4 are going to be added to the two silver dollars I have in the 90. You can see these are noticeably larger. So I'll have a group of 6 silver dollars working as dither fish. I think they're pretty cool fish, especially with that little red and that lower fin, that anal fin. So that's it. I've fed everybody. Tell me your comments below. Let me know what you think. Is it similar to how you feed? Do you feed differently? Would you suggest I do something differently? Let me know in the comments, and I'm always learning, as you know. And I've got to get onto this generator review and have it ready to be plugged in because we have a tornado warning and winds up to 60 miles per hour. And because it rained a lot a couple days ago, the ground is real soft, and so there's a chance a lot of trees are going to get knocked over because of the wet soil. So fingers crossed, we've got power now, but I want to be really ready. And with this beast of a my antenna, this beast here should it can handle 2,000 watts, so that should keep things in good shape. So thank you for tuning in, my friends. I'll see you on Saturday at the Cichlids and Coffee live stream at 11 a.m. Central. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe, hit that bell, all that good stuff. And if you want to support the channel further, consider becoming a monthly Patreon supporter for as little as $3 a month. The details are in the description. Thank you, my friends. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.